Hey guys, today's video is going to be part of my makeup collection. I believe today's video is going to be just foundations, primers, setting sprays, concealers, mascaras, eyebrow products. I don't know if I ever thought I was going to do a video like this, but my friend was saying that she loves watching makeup collection videos. She likes the ones where they open the drawers and show you like how they have their makeup categorized and organized and stuff. You know, I have this new beauty room and everything, so I thought, why not? Let's do it. As you probably noticed, I do not have any lights back here anymore. Those were all battery powered and they were dying very quickly, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be spending a lot of money on batteries, so I'm gonna order some that just plug into the wall. That way there's no issue there. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out my channel, and if you want to see what's in my makeup collection, then just keep on watching. If you've watched my vlogs before, you will know that these are my makeup storage drawers. Hello! This is where I keep my primers, setting sprays, and foundations. First primer that I have is the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is a classic cult favorite primer. I love this and repurchased this so many times for so long. It is a good primer, but I don't think it's my favorite anymore just because I like to have something a little bit more moisturizing. I have the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot primer. You guys know this is one of my all-time favorites. I love using this in my T-zone. It keeps you matte and it does fill in your pores a little bit, but it's not too pore filling like maybe the Benefit Professional. It's from the drugstore, so I love it. It's my favorite. Smashbox Primerizer. You guys know this is probably my favorite primer right now at the moment for moisturizing. I feel like I've used quite a bit since I purchased it, and I don't wear makeup every single day. Definitely a moisturizer feel, but then when you blend it in, it is a little bit sticky, so it does help your makeup stay and last longer, and I really enjoy this. Touch in Soul No Problem Primer. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and I really enjoy this. I use this in my T-zone when I'm not using the One Heck of a Blot. This is a little bit more mattifying than the One Heck of a Blot one, I would say, but it's still not super silicone or anything like that, so really enjoy this. Next, I'll go ahead and go into my foundations. This is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. I have the shade MN3. This is a really natural everyday formula. It has this really nice doe foot applicator, which I love. It's a light to medium coverage, so it definitely looks like skin. I feel like it lasts pretty well throughout the day, and it is from the drugstore, so definitely love this one. I have two of these Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundations. I have the shades F8 and F10. F10 is a little too dark for me right now, but I feel like once I get a little more tan, it will work for me. I remember feeling like I really love this foundation. I felt like it was super creamy. And when I picked up the F8 shade, I don't know if it's as creamy as I remember it being. I don't know if there's a discrepancy with shades or what it is, but it seems a little bit more drying than I remember. But I'm definitely still going to use these and see, you know, what I think of them. I also have two of these Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundations. I have the shades F8 and F10 just like the other one. It just is full coverage and it is good for my oily skin. It doesn't break up during the day. I will say if I'm feeling a little bit more dry though, I do have to go in with moisturizing primer because it's definitely more mattifying, but this is my all-time favorite foundation. The LA Girl Pro Matte HD High Definition Longwear Matte Foundation, and I have mine in this shade Soft Honey. It's way too dark for me. Don't know why I thought that Soft Honey was my shade, but it's definitely not. It comes with a pump, and I really like that. It does have like kind of a scent to it, like a very makeup-y scent. It's a really nice foundation, and it is from the drugstore, and it's very affordable. So if you have really oily skin, I think you would love this. Definitely a great find at the drugstore. I also have the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Longwear Illuminating Foundation, and I have it in the shade White. It also comes with a pump. This was the original foundation that LA Girl came out with. I never tried the one that matches my shade or anything. I only bought the white one because I wanted to be able to mix it with foundations. They're too dark for me because I was in a really bad habit of buying foundations that were way too dark for me for a long time, so I had a lot of foundations that I needed to lighten up, and this is pretty good for that. I wouldn't say that it changes the finish a whole lot. I will use it with my LA Girl Pro Matte, and when I do this concoction together, it is still very matte. So I definitely think it's nice to have in my collection just because sometimes I'm really bad at getting the right shade. The Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I have the shade Desert Beige. This does exactly what it says it's gonna do. It's great for photos. It's not super mattifying, but it is good for oily skin. I enjoy it. Again, this is a shade that's way too dark for me. It comes with this like weird paddle thing, which at first I didn't think I was gonna like, but it's really not that bad. A lot of people complain about the scent, but to me the scent is just makeup mostly. Really enjoy this, and I believe it's only like $5. Another Wet n Wild foundation I have is this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Stick Foundation. I have mine in the shade Buff Beige. I have to say that this foundation is not my favorite stick foundation. Maybe stick foundations just aren't for me, but for me, this was really drying, and as much as I wanted to love this, it was kind of hard to blend out because it was a lot stiffer formula, and it just didn't do a lot for me in coverage wise, and it kind of emphasized my dryness. So for me, I will definitely not repurchase this. I will probably use it up on days that I just need to throw on a little bit of coverage, but this is all the product you get. I've barely used it. So for me, that's another downside to stick foundations in general. This was really affordable, but not worth the money to me. I have the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation Concealer. I have the shade 05 Warm Beige. It does come with a really nice pump, which I enjoy. It is medium to full coverage. It's definitely not matte. I would say it's a more natural finish. Reach for it pretty often, and I think that it's really good option from the drugstore, especially if you're like a beginner with makeup. I feel like it does a really good job of covering up blemishes and stuff. I have the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. I have mine the shade Tan Honey. I have had this forever. This wasn't the first high-end, but the second high-end foundation I ever bought. I remember went into Ulta and swatched this and were blown away by the coverage of this. And yes, it does have great coverage, but it is very drying. And if you don't have super oily skin, I feel like you're not gonna like this, but I've even heard people with oily skin still don't like this, so it feels like it gets cakey throughout the day for sure, and it builds up around like your mouth and stuff, and it just starts to look very heavy. And it is kind of a thicker formula, so I don't know if mixing it with another foundation would make it better, but I hang on to it just because, I don't know, I guess I keep thinking I'm gonna use it up, but we'll see. And the last for the foundations, I have this Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation. This is the Comfort Matte Foundation. I have mine in the shade Warm Nude. I do really enjoy this foundation. Again, it has a really nice pump, and I love when they have a pump or a doe foot applicator. It is really good for photos. I've worn it for photo shoots many times. It has, I would say, a more medium coverage, but it's definitely buildable if you want it to, and it has kind of just a natural finish, so it is really nice for photos. Definitely have enjoyed this foundation. Now for setting sprays, this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Coconut 3-in-1 Primer Water. I use it for both, honestly. I do enjoy this. I think it has a really nice scent. It smells like summer. It has a pretty good spray on it, and I think Wet n Wild did a really good job with these. They have two other scents as well, Rose and Cucumber, which I don't like either of those scents very much, so the coconut is definitely the way for me. I don't know if I feel like it really actually does anything. I use it every time I do my makeup now, and I don't know if it's something that I would repurchase because I can't tell if it actually is doing anything for me or not, but I do enjoy this a lot. Next I have the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. You guys know this is a favorite of most people. I used it just today. It is great. It definitely makes your makeup melt into your skin. If you're looking very powdery at the end of doing a full face, you just spray this all over and it just sinks right into the skin. I don't know that it helps me with 16-hour wear, but I mostly enjoy the finish that it gives. I've repurchased this 2 or 3 times. I know that a lot of people say like it's not good for you because it has alcohol in it. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I have the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I have the travel size of this. This has a really nice spray as well. I bought this because this was so hyped up and I really do enjoy it, but I found that I tend to not reach for it that often because I feel like I'm saving it for when I go to an event or something. I don't know why I'm doing that because I've been holding on to this for so long, but this is one that I enjoy, and I think I might purchase it again and buy the full size. I just enjoy putting setting spray on my face. The Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, chamomile, and lavender. I've used a little bit of it, but not very much of it. I bought this when it was on like a sale or something at Ulta because I've heard that lavender is supposed to be calming, and I was hoping that I would carry this around with me and spray my face whenever I felt overwhelmed, and I definitely didn't do that. It's too big of a bottle for me to carry around. I do like it. I don't really know that it really does anything in terms of the lavender being calming. I'm not even sure if that's like a legitimate thing or just something that people say. It is nice, and I feel like once I run out of this Wet n Wild coconut water, I'll probably just use this in lieu of it, because I've gotten to where I do enjoy spraying my face before I start the rest of my makeup. So I do like this, but it's definitely not life-changing. It's just nice to spray your face. The last thing in my drawer here is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is 110% a holy grail at this point. This is a brand new can. I've not even used it yet because I've been using up some other setting sprays, but I love this setting spray. The mist is crazy good, and I feel like you can just never go overboard with this. It's so nice to set your makeup down. It has a similar effect as the Make It Last in the sense that if you're looking a little powdery, you can just spray this all over your face and it will just blend into the skin. I really enjoy this and highly recommend it. So the next drawer here, I know these things may not seem like they go together, but I put this here because like even if I'm wearing minimal makeup, I'm going to reach for these 3 products. So I have eyebrow products, concealers, and mascaras. So I'll go ahead and start with the eyebrow products. I have 2 of the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Micro Brow Pencils. I just tried these out for the first time in a recent video, and I really enjoy them. I definitely think that they're probably like my go-to brow pencil now. They do have a spoolie on one end. It does have a tiny little tip like this, and it is a dupe for the Brow Wiz, and to me the formula is just as good. I also have 2 of the LA Girl Shady Slim brow pencils. This is another dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Again, it has a spoolie on one end. I really enjoy this pencil as well. It's just a few more dollars than the Wet n Wild pencil. I have the shades Blackest Brown and Espresso, and I feel like Espresso is a little too warm for me, but I make it work. This is the Essence Lash and Brow Gel Mascara, and it's clear. It looks disgusting when you start using it because all the brow product that you have on your brows, and then you stick this back in there and it just looks nasty, but I feel like it's not a dupe for the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I wish it was, but it's really just not. I'm not sure if it does a ton for my brows, honestly. It's okay, but I prefer a tinted brow gel now. I have 2 tinted brow gels in my collection. The first one being the Essence Make Me Brow. This is in the shade Brownie Brows. I'm not sure how many shades there are, but from what I could tell, there is like maybe only 2. Essence doesn't always have the best shade range for stuff. I do enjoy this a lot. It has like little fibers in it, so it's really nice to fill in your brows. I wish they had like a little bit of an ashier shade, but this works for me. I also have a little mini sample of the Benefit Gimme Brow. I truly only have this because it came free for something, and I really enjoy the color. I got shade number 5. And if Benefit would go cruelty free, then I would be purchasing this, no doubt, but they aren't, so I'm gonna look maybe into getting a ColourPop one or something for a similar shade, but I do enjoy this, but I'm just using it up until it's done. This is the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, and I have the shade Ebony. This is what it looks like on the inside. It has a cute little mirror. I typically don't use powders that much in my brows anymore, but I used to, and I would always use this side. But I will use this on occasions where I want a more dramatic brow, so I do hang on to it. I have this Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. I have mine in the shade C8. Foundation that goes with this is my favorite foundation. I can't say the same as this concealer. I thought I loved it for a little bit, and I have repurchased it. But the more I use it, the more I feel it's not as full coverage as I want it to be. It's an okay everyday concealer, but it just doesn't stand out to me that much. I have 2 of these Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealers, and I have one in the shade Light Medium Beige, and the other one is in the shade Medium Peach. Medium Peach I use to just cover blemishes. It's more of the same color of my actual skin tone. And the other one I use for highlighting, so I'll forget about them and then go back to them, and they're really nice. Pretty good coverage. I don't know if I would say they're full coverage. I have 2 of the Tarte Shape Tape concealers. If you'll notice, there's a trend with concealers and me having 2. I have one in medium and one in medium honey. Medium honey is the one that I highlight with, and then medium is the one I spot conceal with. I really, of course, love the Tarte Shape Tape, just like everybody else. It is a great full coverage concealer. I don't go in with a heavy hand. Some people do, but not for me, so I really enjoy these, and I would definitely 100% repurchase. I have 2 of these e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealers, and the shades are pretty different. I have medium sand and medium beige. Medium beige ended up being a little too dark to highlight with, and I kind of feel like medium sand is really light to highlight with for my skin tone, so I kind of feel like I have to mix the two. I really do enjoy these. I don't know if I would say they're really a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. They definitely have high coverage, but they dry a lot faster than the Tarte Shape Tape, so I really do enjoy these though, and they're a great alternative for the drugstore because they're like $5. Last concealer that I have is this Flower Beauty concealer. This is the Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. I have it in light medium and it's a little too dark for highlighting. I haven't tested it out a whole lot, but if I decide that I really like it, I'm definitely gonna have to get it in a lighter shade for the highlighting. But it did seem like a nice concealer once I blended it out. At first I just wasn't that impressed with it, but once I had all my makeup on and everything, I feel like it's pretty nice. This is the Essence Volume Stylist 18 Hour Mascara. I really enjoyed this mascara. It does do the job of both volume and length in my opinion. And it is at the drugstore, so it's like $3 or something like that. The only thing I don't like about this is that it is kind of hard to get off. Like, it's not waterproof or anything, but I feel like you really got to get in there to get it off. But that may say something about the longevity of it. So the Wander Beauty Unlashed Volume and Curl Mascara. If you've been watching me know that I use this all the time. Wander Beauty is one of those brands that really intrigues me. It is at Sephora, so it is a little bit pricier. This is a really nice mascara. I do have to apply 2 coats of it to get the result that I want. The first one I feel is mostly to just coat the lashes, and then afterwards you get a lot more length and volume with the second coat. I did get it in a BoxyCharm. Probably won't repurchase it because I'm cheap. So it's not a holy grail or anything, but I do enjoy it. I have 2 of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascaras. I have a mini and then I also have a full size. We're on everyone's holy grail list for so long, but to be honest, it's not my favorite mascara. I feel with this mascara is that it's for people that already have long lashes and I do not. It adds a lot of volume, which is what it claims to do, is volumize. So for me, I need something that lengthens and volumizes because I have like no lashes. I have this Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. This is a like little sample size that I got for free. They are not cruelty free, so I won't purchase this even if I liked it, but I don't like it. It's very wet and it runs everywhere. I know a lot of people have ranted and raved about this mascara, but for me, it's just not doing it. It just feels like a wet mascara that is getting everywhere every time I use it. So I have this Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. Again, this is like a little travel size, which is honestly what I prefer in mascaras because they dry out pretty quickly and I don't use them fast enough. I do like this mascara okay. I feel like I remembered thinking it was an amazing mascara, and maybe my mascara standards have just gone up since then, but this is just an okay mascara. It does more lengthening than volumizing for sure. This Milk Makeup Kush mascara. This has quickly become one of my favorites. I definitely enjoy it. I'm definitely going to keep using this, and I don't know if you can buy a mini size of this, but if I were to repurchase it, I would definitely get the mini. Last, I have the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. This is something I've had for a long time. It's probably dried out by now, to be honest, but I bought this before I was like completely cruelty free. It's very lengthening and I do enjoy it. And I wish Benefit would just go cruelty free already because they would have so much more business, I feel. And I would definitely be purchasing a bunch of these, but anyway, just using it up. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!